Monday, April 27th, coming at you from warm Middle Island, New York. I am Christopher Colantuono, and this is the Geowizdom Podcast. So Pope Pius XI in 1931 wrote Quadragesimo Anno as the second pillar of Catholic social teaching, following up Pope Leo XIII's Rio Novarum. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about that tonight, but he did bring up one very important factor, and that was something that's still true today, and that's that the contemporary economic regime labors under grave evils, having produced a despotic economic dictatorship. And the one wing, on the other hand, is out of control crony capitalism, and on the other hand is out of control collectivism or socialism or even Bolshevik communism. And these are two dirty wings of a dirty, nasty bird, which will sink any economy, any country, and the whole world down into poverty if we let it. And this leads to three kinds of conflicts, to quote Pope Pius XI. And the first one is the struggle for economic supremacy. And of course, everybody in their own factions, their own interests, wants to line their own pockets best. If they're collectivist, if they're socialist, they have their own agendas, they have their own people they want to take care of at the expense of everybody else. If they're capitalistic or fascistic, however you want to talk about it, they want to line their own pockets, take care of their own at the expense of everybody else. The only difference is, on the one hand, you'll say the state owns the means of production. On the other hand, you'll say a private owner owns the means of production. But either way, the very few, the very small amount of people will be ruling over the very large class of people. And that's why this bird is, no matter left wing or right wing, it's a bird that's gonna just really fly right into the mountain. Now, second conflict that it leads to is the fight for control of the state for economic ends. So in other words, I want to be able to give my nephew the $275,000 a year no-show job. I want to have the $500,000 contract with the town to maybe once a year plow snow. I also want to be able to funnel money wherever I want, however I want. Now, most importantly, is the conflict between the states themselves. And we're seeing that play out right now in the Straits of Hormuz. So Donald Trump thought it was going to be a very simple thing, kill some people that lead Iran, and the United States will take control of the Straits of Hormuz. The Greater Israel Project will come into place, and we will control world shipping with an iron grasp. However, the Iranians saw things differently. Even though their leadership was toppled, they had a contingency plan in place. And what's happened over the last 40 days or so is nothing less than a humiliation for myself as an American, all of us fellow Americans. Needless bloodshed in the Middle East, some Americans dead, but a lot of women and children in Iran dead, a lot of civilians, and that's a stain that we won't get out of the United States flag anytime soon. And now, all that being said, now we have all these issues with the different systems. Socialism is utterly irreconcilable with Catholic teaching. That doesn't matter, right? And the only thing that will actually put the social order back into place, and here I will quote Pope Pius XI, is that we need to return to Christian life and institutions so that there may be a full restoration of human society in Christ, and the peace of Christ in the kingdom of Christ may be achieved in all and above all, so Christ may reign. That's the only way we are going to get back to the core principles of this country at its best. This country at its worst is liberty unfettered, going off in various directions, a train to nowhere, crashing into the side of the mountain. And this country at its best is liberty in the one hand under the chains of love that we are given when we take on the mantle of Christ. And when, of course, we take on that yoke, we realize how light the burden is. And then the American eagle can fly and soar for a time, maybe higher than ever before. I'm Christopher Colantuono, and this is the Geowizdom Podcast. Have a great night.